fifth trench. The order. I remember the order because it didn't make any sense. Not the wording. Orders never make sense. It was the name. Reinforced fifth trench immediate. We hadn't held a fifth trench in 3 weeks. I said that out loud. Not to anyone important. Just to hear it. Sergeant Halvek didn't look up when I spoke. Then I guess we're taking it back. That's all he said. They handed us the map after. Old ink. Smudged lines. The kind that bleed when they get wet. Which meant it had already been used in the field. Fourth line. Supply trenches. Artillery nests. But where fifth trench should have been, there was a gap. Not erased. Not crossed out. Just missing. Like whoever drew the map forgot it existed. We marched before dawn. No artillery cover. No scouts ahead of us. Just 16 men in a direction nobody trusted. I should have known then. Orders like that don't come down from command. They come from something that wants you to walk into it. Chapter 1. The March. The mud was wrong. I've marched through every kind there is. Wet, frozen, blood-soaked, churned by tanks, but this one didn't settle. Every step sank deeper than it should have. Like the ground was giving way on purpose. Halvik noticed too. He stopped once, looked back at her trail. No footprints. Not filled in and not washed away. Just gone. Keep moving, he said. So we did. We passed an artillery position about an hour in, or what used to be one. The guns were still there, angled towards the horizon, but the crews, they were gone. No bodies, no signs of a fight. Just helmets, lined up along the trench wall, all facing the same direction, forward, like they were watching something come towards them. Miller was the first to speak. You think they ran? No one answered him, because no one runs from a position like that without orders. And orders don't just vanish. We found the first carving just past the artillery line, on a support beam. It was deep, fresh, not scratched, but cut. Words, but they weren't right. I leaned in close to read it. That's when I realized it wasn't written backwards. It was written wrong. Letters twisted, lines crossing where they shouldn't. Like someone who knew the shape of prayer, but not the meaning. Don't touch it, Halvik said. I hadn't realized my hand was reaching for it. We kept moving, further than we should have. Fifth trench was supposed to be an half hour past the guns. We walked for 2. No trench, no markers, no signs we were even on the right path anymore. Then, we heard it. At first I thought it was the wind. moving through the broken wood, through wires. But it didn't change. It didn't rise or fall. It just stayed the same, steady, rhythmic. "You hear that?" Miller asked. Halvik didn't answer, but he slowed down. And that was worse. The whisper got louder as we walked. Not closer, just louder. Like it was inside something. Something we were already standing in. That's when I understood. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't voices carried from a distance. It was singing. Chapter 2. The Trench. We found it without seeing it. One step forward, and the ground dropped out beneath us. Not a collapse, a clean edge. A perfect edge. Like the earth had been cut open. This was Fifth Trench. It was deeper than the standard. Too deep. The walls weren't reinforced properly either. Just raw earth, packed tight. No sandbags, no planks, no signs it had been built by anyone following regulation. "Positions," Halvik ordered. "Routine. Even now. Even here." We spread out along the trench line. Rifles up. Eyes scanning. Waiting for something to move. But nothing ever did. There were signs of life. That's what made it worse. Lantern still burning. Low fuel, but not quite out. Rations stacked near a dugout entrance. They were open, half-eaten. "Where are they?" someone whispered. I stepped towards the wall, ran my hand along the dirt. It was warm. The chanting hadn't stopped. It was quite clear here. Still quiet, still controlled, but definitely coming from below. "There's no lower level in the standard trench design," I said. Halvik didn't respond. Miller called out from further down. "You guys need to see this." We moved towards him, one by one, boots echoing slightly now. Too much space, too much depth. He was standing near a dugout entrance, looking down. Not moving, he was frozen. "What is it?" Halvik asked. Miller didn't answer right away. He just stepped aside. I looked in. It wasn't a dugout. It went down. Farther than any support tunnel should. There was no ladder, no structure, just a slope carved into the earth. And along the walls, more carvings, thousands of carvings. They were layered over each other, cut deep enough that the dirt bled dark. Same symbols as before. Some broken prayers. "They were digging," I said. "No," Halvik replied. "They were following something." Silence. Not fading. Just complete silence. Every man in that trench froze. Then, "Hello?" Miller dropped his rifle. That's Kiesler," he said. "That's his voice." Kiesler had died 2 weeks ago. I saw it happen. The voice came again. Closer this time. Why did you leave us?" No one spoke. No one moved. My heart was about to explode. Because deep down, every one of us knew we hadn't found Fifth Trench. It had found us. Chapter 3. The First Loss. No one answered the voice. Not Halvik, not Miller, and not me. Because if you answer something that shouldn't be there, you give it permission. We held position for a long time after that. Long enough for the quiet to feel wrong. Long enough for the trench to feel like it was listening. Halvik finally broke it. No one goes down there. It was simple, direct, and coming from Halvik meant it was final. Miller didn't like that. I could see it in the way he kept staring into that hole. Like if he just leaned a little closer, he'd see his friend. "That was Kiesler," he said. No one responded. "I know his voice." Halvik stepped right in front of him. "Kiesler is dead." "Then what's talking?" Halvik didn't answer. Because there was only 2 answers to that question. And neither of them keeps a man steady. We set a perimeter, rotations, watch posts, standard procedure. You hold the trench and you wait for orders, even if the trench shouldn't exist. I took first watch. The chanting started again, about an hour in. Quieter this time, like it knew we were listening. I walked the line, counted heads. 16 when we arrived. 16 men in positions. When I counted again, I only got 15. I checked twice. Moved faster. The 3rd time. "Halvik!" I called. He was there in seconds. "Report. We're missing one." He didn't ask who. He already knew. We both looked towards the dugout. Miller's post was empty. Halvik swore under his breath. "No one leaves their position," he said. "No one goes alone, and we move together." But even as he said it, we both knew. Miller hadn't left. He was taken. Chapter 4. The Shifting. We sealed the entrance off, or we tried to. Sandbags, crates, anything you could stack. Not to hold something out, but to keep something in. "We wait for daylight," Halvik said. "It is daylight," someone answered. No one corrected him, because down in that trench, it didn't feel like it. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time didn't move right down here. The trench, it started to change. At first it was small, things not where we left them. A rifle leaning the wrong way. A pack moved a few feet from where it had been set down. Then, it got worse. So much worse. The walls, they weren't straight anymore. I don't mean damaged. I mean wrong. Angles that aren't possible. Angles that shouldn't exist. Corners where there had been flat lines. I walked the same stretch 3 times, and it got longer each time. "Halvik," I said, "we need to mark the path." He nodded. We started carving into the wall, simple lines, directional marks. We moved forward, checked the perimeter, turned back. The marks were gone, all of them. They weren't covered, not filled in. They were just gone, like they had never been there. The chanting came back louder, not from below this time. They came from the walls. "You hear that?" someone whispered. No one answered, because now we all heard it. And it wasn't singing anymore. It was repeating. "Stay, stay, stay." Everyone snapped to attention, rifles up. Another hit. Closer. There was a thud. Something was moving. Inside the wall. "Back up!" Halvik shouted. We pulled away just as a hand came through the wall. It didn't break the dirt. It didn't push it aside. It just phased through it. Fingers first, then the wrist. Skin split open, packed with mud. Moving, even when the bones bent in the wrong way. "Help," it whispered. Miller's voice. More hands started coming through the walls. They started appearing everywhere, dozens of them. Reaching, pulling, they were grasping at the air. "Stay," they whispered. "Stay with us." One grabbed Jensen by the sleeve. It yanked him. He didn't even have time to scream. He just disappeared, pulled straight into the wall. There was no hole. There was no blood. He was just absent. The chanting, it was getting loud, so loud. We didn't hold formation after that. We couldn't. Men were backing away, some dropping their rifles. Some just dropped to their knees and started to pray. Others just shocked. Halvik grabbed me by the collar. "We're leaving," he said. "Which way?" I asked, because the trench behind us wasn't the one we came from anymore. It stretched longer, darker, twisting slightly where it had been straight. And from beneath us, something moved. Not shifting, and it wasn't settling. It's like it was waking up. "Move!" Halvik shouted. We ran. But the trench didn't end. It just kept going. And the deeper we went, the louder the voices became. Not behind us, not below us, but ahead, like something down there was waiting. Chapter 5. The Heart Below. We ran until running stopped meaning anything. No turns, no exits, no sky above us anymore. Just a narrowing strip of gray that didn't give any light, only shape. Men were gone. I don't remember when. One moment they were behind me. The next, they weren't. No screams, no struggle, just fewer and fewer footsteps. I counted without meaning to. 16 when we arrived. 15, then 14, then 6. I stopped counting. Halvik was still ahead of me. That's all I focused on. His silhouette, his pace, his refusal to slow down. "Keep moving," he barked, like movement meant survival, like direction still mattered. The trench opened up without warning. One step forward, and suddenly there was space. A chamber, not carved, not built. It was grown. The walls pulsed. Slow, wet pulses. Breathing in a rhythm that didn't match anything human. The floor, it wasn't ground. It moved under our boots. Soft in places, firm in others. Like muscles trying to remember how to be still. You could hear the massive heartbeat echo through the chamber. We weren't the first ones here. They were all around us. The missing, the lost, the ones who had come before. Not standing, they weren't moving. They were embedded, fused into the walls, half buried in the floor. Faces visible in the surface, eyes open, mouths moving, still praying, whispering, "Stay, stay, stay with us." Miller was there. I saw him, chest deep in the wall, arms stretched out like he tried to pull himself free. His eyes, they locked onto mine. It's not what we thought," he said. His voice wasn't layered. It wasn't distorted. It was clear. That scared me more than anything. "Miller?" I stepped forward. Halvik grabbed me hard. "Don't." "He's alive." "No," Halvik said. "It's using him." The chamber shifted. Not the walls, not the ground. The space itself. Like it was closing around us. Or it was focusing. You came back," Miller said. "We never left." I answered before I could stop myself. Halvik looked at me, sharp, concerned. "Don't talk to it." But Miller smiled. Or he tried to. "That's what they all say," he whispered. He moved, now stepping forward, pulling himself out. The wall resisted, stretching, clinging to him, then letting go. heavy, wet thud from what I think it was the wall fell behind him. He stood there. Wrong. His body wasn't broken, not fully, but parts of him didn't agree with the rest. His arms lagged behind his movement. His head turned just a fraction too far, and his chest was still connected. A thin strand of something stretching back into the wall, pulsing. It doesn't want you to leave, he said. What is this? Havik demanded. Miller tilted his head. It's what's left. Of what? Of us. Silence. Then the chamber spoke. Not through Miller, not through others, but everyone and everything, through everything at once. You dig, you bleed, you pray, and you leave it behind. We do not. The walls tightened. Hands pushed out again, dozens, hundreds. Not grabbing now. They're reaching. Join, it said. Havik raised his rifle. Always stubborn, he was. No! He fired. Gunshots echoed. The bullet didn't hit anything. It just stopped. It hung in the air, then sank into the wall like it had always belonged there. You already have, the voice said. A deep rumble. The ground started shifting violently. The trench, the chamber, everything closed in. Chapter 6. The New Signal. I don't remember falling, or being taken, or choosing anything. I just remember stopping. I could hear my slow breathing. I felt so calm. It's quiet here. Not silent, never silent, but peaceful in a way. The others are still here. I can feel them. Not separate, not anymore. Just part of the same thing. The same trench. The same purpose. We were wrong about it. Miller was right. It's not a safe place. It's not a structure. It's not even a weapon. It's what happens when enough men die believing something is watching them. And then something finally does. I could hear a radio. Yeah, it's the radio we've been using. We've been sending signals. That part still works. Still reaches the surface. It still sounds like us. Reinforcements requested. The voice comes out clear, strong. Mine. 5th trench holding position. We don't lie. That's the best part. It is holding. I can feel the whispers. We're stronger now, more complete. Each time someone answers, each time they come looking. Coordinates unchanged. They always follow orders. Immediate support required. And eventually, they always find us. Stay.